Good evening and welcome to this session of the live learning classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Today, we are going to move on to another exciting topic. In the meantime, let me greet those who are here. Nice to see you all. We have Ms. Kavita, Lamsal, Pramod, Darshan, of course, Vanakkam sir. Ms. Bhumika is here, welcome. Rajni is here, Rajni Singh. Ms. Diksha is here. Mr. Shankaran from Nellore is here. Welcome all of you. Look forward to a great evening when we'll be discussing the next topic, which is accounts of companies. Okay, chapter 9. Maybe we are skipping it a little bit, but that's okay, because this is a standalone topic and does not have major reference to any other topic which we are yet to cover. So, in fact, the topic that has reference with everything is management and administration. Okay, so that would be covered later by me, I'm told. So don't worry about that. Let's now go for accounts of companies. Now, friends, a few words of introduction, a few words of contextualization, putting things in context may help you here. This chapter of this Companies Act 2013, chapter 9, and more importantly, the rules made therein have been heavily influenced by certain events which occurred in 2009, etc., etc. It was the famous Satyam scam. Okay, the famous Satyam scam, when a gentleman, if I may use that word very loosely, called Ramalinga Raju, put the entire Indian capital market into a turmoil by making a revelation that the accounts of Satyam were falsified, were systematically falsified for various purposes about which we'll see later. The point is, at that time, the law was not having certain checks and balances. And according to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, there needed to be more controls, one. Also, there needed to be more flexibility. So you will be seeing many provisions in this chapter which have bearing on that Satyam experience. Not only here in the National Financial Reporting Authority. Later on, when you go to final, you will study Serious Fraud Investigation Office. That's a totally different topic. So many things have Satyam has impacted the way the law is now structured. Also, the way the law is now trying to cover up for failures in the past. Okay. Now, so when I come there, I may tell more about this, but this is more of an context setting. So we have Sweetie Kumari, who's from the Central Region. Welcome, madam. And again, Ms. Sana. Welcome. So this topic can be broadly divided into these subtopics, which we will be discussing one by one. Basically, what are the types of accounts to be maintained? So we get a lot of instruction on the type of books of account. What is it? Books and papers, financial statement. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs educates us, if I may be permitted, educates members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India on how accounts are to be maintained. Of course, it also is a good thing because today, because it's statutory, you don't have to pressurize the directors. The directors are already bound. Remember, this entire chapter applies to the board of directors, the KMPs, the key managerial personnel, and any person who has been specifically entrusted with the task of maintaining the books of account as per the law. Such a person would be bound by this. All of them are bound by this. So we don't have to go and tell them, hey, please don't do this because this is not allowed. See, in those days, when such statutory recognition was not there, the board of directors or even the company secretary would talk arrogantly. They will say, it is not, show me, where is it mandatory? It is not mandatory. No, my institute has got a guidance note. And I'll say, your institute is your institute. What do I care? Like that, they will talk. So we can't say. The institute guidelines, the guidance notes bind me as a member, signing the balance sheet. Whereas they were not binding the directors. I'm not joking. Yes, this is how it was in the 90s. Even up to the early 2000s.
It's only in there's a major amendment of 99 when accounting standards were made mandatory. Only after that, some kind of sanity emerged. And today, we have got much more clarity. They have also made a provision for reopening and recasting of accounts. Previously, it was not there. Now they have given an opportunity. Because of Satyam. You see, after Satyam, they found books are wrong. Members have adopted it. What do I do? So members have adopted it. There was no provision for reopening and recasting. So they have made a provision. We'll see that. Similarly, voluntary revision, where you want to revise it yourself, the company can do it. Such case, these two provisions are clearly post-Satyam innovation. Then, of course, the NFRA, National Financial Reporting Authority, who will be the prescribing authority for accounting standards and auditing standards. Of course, the institute would still be playing a major role. The ICI would be providing the infrastructural support and the knowledge base, but the NFRA would approve it, and then the central government will prescribe the accounting standard, and then it becomes mandatory for boards, right? So you know about it better than me. I don't have to waste your time on this. Yeah. Okay, I just keep glancing at the query pad and I see new names, not new names, familiar names coming suddenly. We have Ms. Jaspreet Kaur. Welcome, madam. Nice to have you back. So it's quite some time since we had your questions and all. Let's see. NFRA we saw, audit reports and board report, how it's going to happen. See, one more thing, as is my usual style, I may not go in the order of sections. So if you're keeping the Board of Studies material in front of you, yes, it will be covered, but you may have to jump a little. So I may be taking something up early. Corporate social responsibility, I may cover last, because that's most unconnected of the topics. So I may keep it last and cover it in my last class. CSR, what is CSR? But very important, exam point of view, important. CSR is very important. Right of members and filing of financial statement with registrar, the usual. And finally, internal audit, which has now become mandatory. So also you will find consistently the Ministry of Corporate Affairs would try to put sort of more in audit and auditors. You will see how we are the stepchild of the Ministry of Corporate. We means, I mean the members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. We are the stepchild of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Always they will look at us with suspicion. And we have to go before them on bended knees with uplifted arms and say, please help us, because they have no mercy for us. Whereas the Institute of Company Secretaries, and to an extent the cost accountants, are their pet children, adopted children of their mercy. They will always call, hug them and say, what do you want? Tell me. I will give you. You want audit? Take it. You want secretarial audit? Take it. DJ Bhaiya, why are you? Oh, yeah, come on, take it. That is for you. Whatever you want to ask, don't hesitate. Whereas when we go and legitimately make a request, you are all criminals. You are the fellows who signed Satyam. As if every auditor in the country unitedly combined to sign that one balance sheet. There was one chartered accountant who signed that one balance sheet. But by his original sin, every one of us has become sinned. We are sinning against the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and that you have sinned. That fellow signed that Satyam balance sheet was your man. Now, every one of you is now guilty of that. Like Adam's fall and original sin, we have been tainted by that one sin forever and ever, that we will never be redeemed. Okay, I do not know. But that is how they think, that any balance sheet signed by any auditor is suspicious. You guys cannot be trusted. Because why? Because Satyam you signed. Satyam was fraud. Correct, Satyam was a fraud. But not every balance sheet. Anyway, this is something that maybe more about it later. Of course, I have an answer to that, which I will share with you later. Right now, just keep pondering on what I'm saying. But later on, I will tell you my response to that accusation, which you may not understand it now in 2023 AD, you may not understand. In the thick of thin things, when Satyam scam had just broken out and Padma Shri T.N. Manoharan had not even gone into the board of directors and done the good work that he did. Okay, our past president, Padma Shri T.N. Manoharan, sat on the board of Satyam. There's a book there, you can read that. Tech Phoenix, co-authored by C.A. T.N. Manoharan, Padma Shri C.A. T.N. Manoharan, our past president of our institute, and another great friend of mine and wonderful journalist, chartered accountant V. Pattabhiram of Chennai. These two gentlemen have written a book, Tech Phoenix, T-E-C-H, Phoenix, P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Tech Phoenix. They call it Phoenix because Satyam, like the phoenix bird, it fell into the fire. And the phoenix, what happens? It frequently falls into the fire and it comes out again. From the fire, it will be reborn again. That's why phoenix is a bird of a symbol of rebirth and rejuvenation. In the mythology, I think it's in Greek mythology or even earlier than Greek mythology. I think it goes to Mayan and even Inca culture. There's a bird. It's a bird of fire. It falls into the fire and the phoenix, from that fire, a new phoenix will come. So the same way Satyam, unfortunately, was burnt by the activities of Ramlinga Raju, but it came out again. And finally, today it's still, Satyam is still there, though the name is not there. Tech Mahindra is nothing but Satyam. Mahindra Group acquired Satyam business and they have made it into a very, very powerful IT company. And that was done thanks to the excellent work done by the board of directors, along with Padma Shri C.A.T.N. Manoharan, past president of our institute. You should read that book to see how much, a member of our institute, of course, one member did the fraud, but we can be proud that one of our illustrious past presidents, he ensured that the company was revived and he ensured that things became all right. You should read that book, which is TNM's personal experience of this, activity of reviving Satyam. Please do read the book, not now, if at all you have time, because it's very relevant for chartered accountants, future chartered accountants. Kindly read that book. I'm strongly recommending you to read the book. If not now, at least after you finish your intermediate, before you write your final exam, if you have some gap time, please read the book. So it's a compulsory reading for us. Okay. So coming to the mundane topic of this chapter, the first section, we are going to see section 128. Wow, I have all my students here. Komal Prajapati is here. Wow, welcome. Jaspreet ji is here. Excellent. Darshan. Good. Let's hope we have good interaction today. Let's see. So 128 is the base section. Basic section says every company shall prepare books of account and other relevant books and papers and financial statement for every financial year. So non-corporate entities like proprietary and partnership will not need to maintain books of account unless they come within the purview of the Income Tax Act. 44AB, they're supposed to maintain 50 lakhs, 1 crore. They have to maintain books of account, which compulsory books of account. Below that, they can go naked. Nobody is going to ask them what they did and all. If they are less than 2 crores, 44 ADA or 50 lakhs ADA, then nothing. They can go naked. They can simply not bother, offer presumptive tax and run away. That is for non-corporate entities. Even a corporate entity cannot go through that process simply because compulsorily books of account have to be maintained under the Companies Act, right? So it has to be maintained. Of course, not only should you maintain books of account, such books of account need to be audited, which we will be seeing later. Right now, every company shall prepare books of account and other relevant books and papers. See, if you simply show books of account to me in electronic form and in Tally or in ERP, and I come and look at it, it's of no use to me. There should be supporting books and papers. Baba, you can't say this is my sale. I need to see the bills. I need to see the DCs. I need to see the purchase orders. I need to see, are you able to understand? There's a whole trail there, an audit trail to substantiate this one sale. Similarly, purchase. I need to see right from, if it's a larger purchase, I need to see the purchase committee meeting minutes, the quotation, the tender being floated, then letter of intent or tender, and then the quotations, then L1, then finally L1 approved, then purchase order placed, then supply of goods, then for that proof of DC, then bill, then settlement. Are you able to see the whole trail there? Like that, for everything I can give you the trail. See, if you tell me that you have spent printing and stationery, I will go all the way back, right down to the final voucher. If that is not supporting you, then I will see just a business justification. Why do you need to spend this printing and stationery? What was it meant for? Or advertisement expenses? Where did you release it? Show me the paper. Or if I have some suspicion, I may copy. But if I'm satisfied, I will leave it. It's my call. Friends, I'm giving some views to you, which are predominantly the views of a member of our institute who is in auditing function like me. Kindly bear with me. But suppose you say, sir, I'm not going to be an auditor. Even then, initial stages of your professional growth, learning, if you learn auditing and you know how to look at things with a questioning eye, later on when you become a finance executive or a CFO or whatever, this will be of use to you. You will be able to see it clearly and then act accordingly. Therefore, I'm giving you the auditing part of it. So to be a good accounts man, you should be a good auditor first. You should have gone through the books well. That is why our institute, for the first 2 years or so, they ensure that you get thorough grounding in auditing. Right from the books of prime entry, voucher, to ledger, to representation. Then, of course, to the representational mechanism, the analysis, the summarization and analysis, the disclosures, as per the India AS accounting standard. That is the pinnacle of the knowledge which you will reach when you will know how to ensure that the accounts give a true and fair view. So the purpose of maintaining of books of account is to explain the transactions effected by the company in an accurate and systematic manner. So there should be a lot of detailing, ability to take call-out details. Now, such books shall be kept on accrual basis. I don't have to explain to this group of people what is accrual basis. Okay, what is accrual basis? You educate me instead of wasting my time and wasting your time, telling what is accrual basis. Such an intelligent group. Come on. 1 or 2 of you put up your definition of accrual basis. Let me see what you think of as accrual basis. What is accrual basis? In fact, I always have this big doubt whenever I read this thing. Going concern. I mean, that's not given here, but we are supposed to certify whether books are, hey, come on, Mr. Rama. That's not okay, Mr. Rama. That's not fair. Not on cash basis. No. What is accrual basis? No. Then I will ask what is cash basis. No. Accrual has to be defined. Then you can say not on accrual basis. You can call it what you want, cash basis, whatever you want to call. Accrual has to be defined. What is accrual? Very good. Now you are correcting yourself. Transactions of the same year to be recorded in the same year. Okay, Shivam Tiwari, recording of transaction when it occurs, not when cash is paid. See, you are all giving nice definitions. No, I want you to be a little more accurate. Occurs. And when does it occur? When does a transaction occur? Now Bhumika is coming nearer to where I want to go. Record income and expenses when they become due. Correct. That is, account for income when it is earned and not when it is received. Let us see. According to accrual basis of accounting, transactions recorded on the period in which they accrue. Correct. Mr. Darshan, the problem with your definition is you are using the word accrue. To define accrual basis, you are using accrue. Now I will ask you what is the meaning of the word accrue. You should use another word to describe it. I think Bhumika is coming near. I like her approach. Rushita, accrual basis accounting recognizes business revenue and matching expenses when they are generated, not when money actually changes hands. Very long-winded, but somewhere there in the ballpark, but can be more pinpointing and accurate. Entries to be taken into account for the financial year with effect of expenses and income transaction on the accrued. Hey, again, Varsha, you are using accrued. You can't use the word to describe the word. You can't use the same word to describe it. I don't know what is accrued. I'm an uneducated man. I'm asking you what is the meaning of accrual, and you're telling accrued. What do you mean by accrued basis? Accrued means you account income when it is earned, not when it is received. You account expense when it is incurred, not when it is paid. So, accounting income in the year or financial period when it is earned, and accounting expense in the financial period when it is incurred or when it is enjoyed, rather than in the year when it is paid or financial period when it is paid. Correct. Expenses incurred and income earned. Expenses and income should be booked on basis of due basis. Correct. When you earn an income, you book it. When you pay. This is very important. This may sound like very silly for us. This is nothing. For accountants like you and me, accrual basis is nothing. But there are many company secretaries, cost accountants who don't know accrual basis. If you ask him what is accrual basis, he say bah. He won't know anything. Correct. See, expenditure is incurred, income is earned. Small correction. So that is it. Expenditure is recognized when it is incurred, and income is recorded when it is earned. Okay. Fantastic. All of you have, as I've understood, you have really understood what is accrual basis. Very important. But then, Mr. Rama gave one point in the beginning. I think he hit the nail because he goes to the root of accrual basis. See, accrual basis has its root in matching concept. Accrual basis has its root in matching concept. That is, the income of a financial period should be compared with the expenses of that period, or all the expenses pertaining to the income should be accounted in that period, which is, see, on that basis only we value closing stock and put it there, reduce the closing stock from the purchases. We add the opening stock, reduce the closing stock to arrive at the cost of goods sold or cost of goods consumed. All that is happening because of matching concept. Okay. Similarly, depreciation, matching concept. Because, see, basically the asset, when we saw dividend, I brushed over it. Depreciation. Depreciation has to be charged if you want to declare dividend. One of the compulsory things. But why depreciation? Nobody is asking. Why dividend and depreciation are combined? This is a very esoteric question. If you can understand it, I will tell. Otherwise, I will be confusing you, then I won't tell. Okay. Beautiful. All of you have given extraordinarily good answers. I know about it. So we have understood accrual. Before I say goodbye to this concept, let me say depreciation again is matching concept. Because, see, basically, my dear friends, depreciation is not something esoteric or something great. I am incurring an expense. Benefit is derived in 1 year revenue. Benefit is derived over many years. It is capital. Am I correct? Now, so when I purchase an asset, that amount which I spent for that asset is not a revenue expense, because A, a tangible asset has been created. B, the benefit from that asset will accrue over a longer period. Therefore, I have to somehow proportionately allocate the cost of that asset over its useful life. 1. So that is depreciation. I am taking the asset, finding out its useful life, and distributing the cost of that asset over its estimated useful life. This is the essence of depreciation, which is what happens in the Companies Act. In the Companies Act, you charge depreciation on the basis of useful life. Useful life is given in another schedule, just like we'll be seeing the schedule 3 in this case. The accounts, the balance sheet, and the financial statement is to be given in the format given in accounting, schedule 3. Same way, the useful life of assets is given in a separate schedule called schedule. The useful life of assets is given in which schedule? To the Companies Act. This class is becoming a little more question-oriented class. Agreed. Only accrual basis gives true and fair view. Totally agreed with you. I agree with you. Because if you don't use accrual basis, absolutely wrong. Depreciation is also accrual basis. Valuation of closing stock, accrual basis. Of course, providing for expenses and according income or the time of basis of earning, all are accrual basis. Schedule B, 8. I'm getting confused now. The useful life of assets is given in Schedule 8 of the Companies Act. Sweetie says schedule 2. That's what I've also learned. I think it's schedule 2 only. Schedule 2, yeah, no doubt about it. There is no schedule 8. Let us see. Why, when you have raised this doubt, I'm having such doubts and all, I should not allow that doubt to escape. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to open my thingy and pull out my company's act. Hey, this is called the MCA website, yeah. I hope you can see it. I'm sure you have also visited, wherein there is an act is there. You have ebook where you can go and see all these acts. Bare Act is available. You don't have to buy it. It's available. You can see. It's available. Can you see the Bare Act? These are the chapters. The chapter we are reading now is chapter 9, accounts of companies. Same way we can, I want to go to which one? Schedule, correct. Schedule, Schedule 1. Hello, there are only 7 schedules in the Act. Madam, there are only 7 schedules. That is when I was shocked and surprised when Varsha is giving me schedule 8. And that too, these schedule numbers, please note, are not Hindu-Arabic. Hindu-Arabic. They are in what is known as Roman numbers. The Roman numbers. Do you notice that? They are in the Roman numbers. They are not in Hindu-Arabic. The numbering you have used is Hindu-Arabic. So we have schedule 2, which is schedule 3, of course, is the profit loss account and balance sheet. Schedule 2, useful lives to compute depreciation. Part A, Part B, Part C. Okay. Schedule Roman 2. Schedule Roman 2. Got it? And your balance sheet format is in schedule Roman 3. Okay. Roman 3, not Hindu-Arabic. The numbers that you use are called Hindu-Arabic numbers. Because the Europeans have adopted them. Before the advent of our numbers, the Europeans had no 0. It's only after they, we discovered 0 or not, I don't know, but the Hindustan, we called it Hindustan. We had an elaborate system of accounting, recording numbers, which included 0. Place, there is the place values were there. So 0 in the second place, 0 in the third place. We could count, because we had to count time in zillions of years. So we needed huge numbers. So we had 0. We are already conceptualized 0. That is Indo-Arabic. Whereas Roman does not have 0. Okay. This is the Roman numeral. So still, for legal purposes, we use the Roman numerals, which are the original numerals used by the Romans. Right? Schedule 2, Jasprit Kaur corrects herself and says schedule 2. Good, fantastic. Did you also notice one thing that I did? When I had a doubt, I did not guess. I did not waste my time arguing that I am right. I simply went and verified from the original source of knowledge. For me, the original source of company law knowledge is the Bare Act. So therefore, I always access the Bare Act. When I have doubt in the Bare Act, then I refer to a treatise written by a gentleman called Ramaya. I go to the Institute library here because I'm a poor chartered accountant. I cannot afford the book now. Earlier, I used to buy one edition, but today, single edition is costing easily 50,000, 40,000 rupees. I cannot afford it. I go to the Institute. Institute is having our Southern Region Library is a beautiful library, well maintained. We have a reading section for members also. I go there. Students also reading is there. When I was preparing for my CA exam, I used to go there and sit and study. And once in those days, there was no air conditioning. The windows used to be open, south-facing windows, open to the beach. See the beach, the sea breeze will be coming in the evening. So I went there after lunch around 2:33 and I started reading. I think I was reading some OR operations, some topic I was preparing, sitting there and reading. And suddenly I went to sleep. I remember classically the librarian came at 5:30 and she said, "Mr. Srikanth, please get up, get out." Okay, so I went to sleep. So because the sea breeze will be very superb, and in that sleep, in that breeze, I went to sleep. I still remember that those days when I was preparing for my final examination. Anyway, coming to the point, books shall be kept on accrual basis according to double entry system of accounting. Double entry. Far be from me any intention to explain double entry to you. You guys know it well. What is double entry system? There is no single entry system, only double entry, or else you have incomplete records. Accounts which are created from incomplete records. There is no single entry. There is an unfortunate misnomer from college education where they have single entry system. There is nothing called single entry. When the books are not maintained according to the 3 rules of double entry, you have a single entry system. Most single entry systems, as they are called, or incomplete record systems, do not take into account accrual basis. Double entry automatically will ensure, see, though in double entry, accrual is not built in. But if you use double entry, you can have accrual basis. But single entry or incomplete records, nothing. Everything will be cash basis. At the end of the period, we'll simply see what is the amount due from debtors, take it. Stock we'll value and take it. It will be math. The balancing figure only can be given. There will be no accuracy, no arithmetical accuracy. No, please don't, sir, please don't. You're absolutely correct, Mr. Rama. In bookkeeping method, where 2 entries are made simultaneously into 2 different debit and credit. Correct. Let us not see. All this we have learned long ago. I don't have to waste your time on this. Possibly you learned this in, shall we say, +2 or +1 when the day you joined your. Good. But now it has become statutory. Books of account shall be kept on accrual basis according to double entry system of bookkeeping. Double entry system of bookkeeping or accounting, as they call it. Earlier, we saw definitions in preliminary. Still, I want to quote this definition again. Books of account includes records maintained in respect of all sums of money received and expended by a company and matters in relation to which receipts and expenditure takes place. All sales and purchases of goods and services, the assets and liabilities, the item of cost, all this has to be maintained. Cost records also need to be maintained, but only for those companies where it is prescribed. We'll see that later. Which are the companies for which cost records is mandatory. Book and paper or book or paper includes books of account. So books of account includes books of account. Deeds, vouchers, I told you now, vouchers, writings, documents, minutes, and registers maintained on paper or in electronic form. Please note, book and paper or books and paper may be on paper or in electronic form. Today, increasingly, we prefer not to print on paper. Am I correct? We prefer to use some kind of a tablet or a laptop or even our own mobile phones as tablets wherein we can read so that it becomes easy for us to think. I strongly suggest that as the new generation, you should not use paper at all, preferably. Try to use electronic. Do not print. Okay. In my office, people are discouraged from printing. We print only original prints for the purpose of signing and giving to the client or submitting to the government authorities where they ask that this should be done in print paper form. Where something has to be signed only, we'll print. Otherwise, we will never print anything. Everything is on screen. Reviews are done on screen through the network. Finally, corrected versions are kept, saved, and used. And PDF forms are used. For example, if I were dictating a submission to the income tax department, I would dictate a preliminary dictation on my mobile through Google Board. I will dictate it. And then after I've dictated the whole, say 3 pages or 4 pages, loosely, I will send it to my team. Somebody in my team who's responsible. That gentleman or lady will go through it and fill in the blanks for me. I'll say blah, blah, blah. Means she has to put blah, blah, blah. Means I would not put blah, blah, blah. She will put blah, blah, blah. Meaning she will fill in the gaps with all the details and all that. And then second review, it will come back to me. Then I will make corrections and sometimes I will send it back to her and saying, hey, this is wrong, that is wrong, do it. And again, this is done. Then the third draft comes to me, which would be an almost final draft. I'll dot the I's, cross the T's, ready. Then and only then, on the day we go for the hearing, because the income tax fellow cannot, have digital data. He wants it in paper form. We print it, sign it, and take it to him. I'm just giving this to you to help you understand that you should reduce the paper. Digital signature is a totally different concept. Do you know what is a digital signature, Mr. Shivam? You have just put 2 words, digital signature. Do you know what is a digital signature? And this has nothing to do with digital signature. Please understand. Here we are talking about documents which can even be scanned images. Paper documents, scanned image of paper documents. Or shall we say electronic images of documents. Everything is covered in this book and paper. Digital signature, totally different concept. Tiwariji, since you have suddenly butted in and put digital signature, tell me what do you mean by it? What is the context? Why are you informing me about digital signature? That is different. Digital signature is totally different. See, digital signature, I don't want to tell. You told now, you tell what is digital signature. I did 1,000 times where I worked digital signature. Madam, I'm not able to understand. What did you do 1,000 times? Oh, you affix the digital signature, is there? Correct. See, digital signatures go one step ahead, where normally forms are printed, signed, and submitted. Now, instead, you upload it online. But while uploading, you have to authenticate the document, right? For that, you use the digital signature. There are so many digital signatures. You have online digital signatures using OTPs. You have digital signatures where you use a dongle. You have UDINs. So many are there. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, if you can do that, then there will be no need for you to sign also. No physical need is there. It can be uploaded directly. Today, your income tax returns and all submissions for income tax purposes are on the portal. And there is no signing, only digital signature. Okay. So it include books of account, deeds, vouchers, writings. So that word writings means any manuscript also is included. Writing means manuscript, note, handwritten note. So writing. Okay, that is also a book or paper. It's a very wide definition. And maybe later on in interpretation, I may tell you more about this. But right now, I want you to observe the word used here is include. Include, when you see in a definition, remember, this is not exhaustive. We'll study this in interpretation also. At that time, I'll tell you a little more elaborately. Right now, all you need to understand is when the word include is used, it means the definition is not exhaustive. See, the definition of relative that we saw, the definition of relative that we saw in the Companies Act was exhaustive and restrictive. He said relative means only this, nothing else. It's complete in itself. Nothing is to be added or subtracted. You can't add something on a logical basis and all. What is given is given. Whereas here include. So there could be something else also, which could be treated as a document. For example, a photograph could be treated as a book and paper. Why not? Because it's inclusive. Okay. The word document today has acquired a totally different meaning in digital technology. Today, when you, though even for the purpose of, Google and Android, I don't know about iPod because I've never used an iPhone. Being a poor man, I don't know how an iPhone works. So, but in Android-based machines, especially my Samsung Fold, document has a meaning that it has in normal way, meaning text, where it contains text. But in my humble view, we could expand this to include photographs also. Photographic images. Okay, can be included. Maps can be included. So today, with Android, with Google, with object orientation, anything can become a document. Yeah. Anything that gives me clarity, anything that gives me some kind of data is a document or is a book and paper. Okay. So the word includes, I'm going to be very, very careful. And I'm not going to exclude things because they are not conventionally on paper and all that. Am I correct? See, what you see on the skin is different from how it is actually stored. Totally different. So as it includes books of account, the term book and or paper has wider import. Be very, very careful. Future when you want to bring something on book and paper, remember it is an inclusive definition, wider application. Books of account. Friends, the correct way of writing is books of account. Books of account. Okay, books of account. Mr. A has one wife. Then he married one more lady, second wife. Now, he has two mother-in-laws or mothers-in-law. He has two wives, means both are not sisters, yeah. Of course, after marriage, they'll become sisters. But in reality, biologically, they have two different mothers. So these two different mothers will become two mothers-in-law, not mother-in-laws. Am I correct? Similarly, books of account, not book of accounts or books of accounts. No, books of account. Okay. In case I myself am making a mistake, please do not correct me, or correct me, I will correct it. But that is wrong. Suppose in any of these slides, you see me making that mistake of books of accounts, please feel free to correct me in the query pad and I will correct it. But that will not make it right. The correct spelling is books of account. Even if the Act uses the word books of accounts, that is wrong. Sorry, that is there. I will not have any respect for the MCA because English is English. Okay, MCA may be authority on company law, but they are nowhere authority on English. Okay, they don't have any business to talk about the right usage of English. Okay, so the correct way to write books of account is books of account. Don't please write books of accounts or book of accounts. Wrong. Books of account. Okay, shall be prepared and kept at the registered office of the company. So the registered office of the company becomes very important. That is why when we studied incorporation, you will remember registered office can be different from corporate office, can be different from administrative office, whatever. There should be a registered office. And that address should be notified within 30 days to the ministry. And that is where the books of accounts should be normally kept. So basic rule, books of accounts shall be prepared and kept at the registered office. Oh, no. Mr. Srikanth, please understand our problem. Our registered office for sentimental purposes we are having in Ranchi. But you know more. You know very well, sir, all our records and all in Kolkata only. You know, we have our main office in Kolkata. Absolutely. So administratively, we are using Kolkata. Agreed, sir. So Ranchi, we have moved from Ranchi to, you know, sir, our founder moved from Ranchi to Kolkata. We have, Seri Baba, what do you want now? We want to maintain the books of account in a place other than the registered office of the company. Then they may be kept at such other place in India, as the board of directors may decide. So A Limited wants to maintain its books of account in a place other than the registered office. They can do so, as the board may decide, provided the place is in India. In such a case, the company shall, within 7 days of changing the file with the registrar, a notice in writing giving the full address of that place. So this is very important. You can't simply move the books. The reason is, anytime the registrar or anybody can come for inspection. Ministry of Corporate Affairs can come for inspection. If they come for search, seizure, inspection, and they find that if the register, they will come only to the register office. They find books of account are not there, that itself is an offense straight away. But if you already given notice, we have shifted it from the register office in Ranchi to our head office or corporate office or headquarters, whatever you call. Okay, we have shifted it to Kolkata BBD Bar. Chalo, we will come to BBD Bar, no problem. But you have to inform us within 7 days of your shift. Now Tiwari is asking me a fantastic question. Headquarters office is same as registered? No, sir. Registered means the office which has been indicated by you. If you attended my lecture on incorporation, you will know there is a separate form to be filed. Within 30 days of incorporation, you have to intimate to the registrar. That office is the registered office. Thereafter, you call it headquarters, you call it corporate office, you call it anything, you call it Swargalok also. I don't mind. But have you filed the necessary form with the registrar within 30 days for that address? Then that is the registered office. Call it what you want. Call me 30, pay me 40. No problem. Tiwariji, have you understood the point? Simply using terms like this is not going to frighten us. You call it headquarters, you call it corporate office, you call it administrative office, you call it what you want. Have you given that address within 30 days of incorporation to the ministry? If you have not, and if you have not given any address, then you are violating the law. But if you have given some other address, then that is the registered office. Your headquarters cannot be the registered office. Please understand this very, very important legal concept. Okay. So if you want your headquarters to be the registered office, go and give that address only. Why you are giving one address, headquarters, another, then that registered office address, whichever is recorded with the ministry as a registered office, that is a registered office. I cannot be clearer than this, Baba. Okay. Now, you want to maintain your books in a place other than the registered office, you can. For that, you have to hold a board meeting, pass a resolution. Obviously, for administrative convenience, most companies maintain it in Mumbai or Kolkata, Mumbai or Chennai. I mean, Chennai rarely, because South Tamil Nadu companies, they maintain it in their registered office wherever they are. A Madurai-based company will maintain its books of account in Madurai only, in its registered office in Madurai, or in Coimbatore, or in Hyderabad, Bengaluru, wherever. Okay. But it's only North companies, you'll find interior North India, it may not be convenient. So they will prefer to move to, say, Mumbai or Delhi, Gurgaon, or this side, Gurugram, I should say, or Kolkata, which is slightly more, convenient for them to maintain. So they'll move. Okay. That way, the very right of my city, Chennai, to claim itself as the regional headquarters itself it's sitting on a very dangerous position, because Bengaluru and Hyderabad are far, far more advanced, according to me. I've been to both the cities. I have a lot of clients there. I know what I'm talking about. Chennai that way. But why did Chennai then become the regional headquarters for the southern region? How Chennai became this, the southern region headquarters? The regional director south sits in Chennai, not in Bengaluru or in Hyderabad. He sits in Chennai. Though the Golconda Nawabs were ruling the entire this part of the world, this part of country, the Golconda. Then when Tirumala Nayakar conquered, Tirumala Nayakar from Vijayanagaram, that is Hampi, was ruling right down to Madurai, was ruled by Tirumala Nayakar, that is by Krishna Deva Raya, and his vassal who was Tirumala Nayakar. At no time Chennai had any importance till the British came, and they established Chennai as their second presidency. Kolkata was the first presidency. After Kolkata, Chennai, Madras became now we call it Chennai, it was called Madras in those days, Madras presidency, and we became a presidency town. And this presidency town was almost right up to Andhra, right up to, I think, Nellore, that almost up to, I think it will go nearing to Guntur, it will go, I think, Vijayawada, little before that, and right down to Kerala, this side, Travancore, up to border of Travancore, this side, up to border of Mysore, it was Madras presidency. Okay. So just for your little bit of history to give you some context. Travancore, of course, was Travancore, Maharaja of Travancore. Then we had the Maharaja of Mysore was there. Then the Golconda Nawab. These three guys were out of the presidency. The rest of it was Madras presidency. Huge area. So that became the southern region later and headquarters, for your information. Okay. So MS Dhoni has incorporated its production house naming Dhoni Entertainment Products registered office in Jharkhand and its headquarters in Mumbai, which means Tiwari ji, headquarter, don't get confused. Registered office is Jharkhand. Now, Dhoni may want to maintain his accounts in Mumbai, in which case he has to go through the procedure laid down here. So I'm very happy that you are very close to Dhoni and he has informed you about his Jharkhand and all that. But legally, what you should remember is Jharkhand is the registered office, right? So that's exact example I gave you, Jharkhand. I think I gave you an example. So let us see. Good. Maintenance of books of account in electronic mode. Okay, so they have now allowed you to maintain books of account and other relevant books and papers can be maintained in electronic mode. Okay, but it shall remain accessible in India so as to be usable for subsequent reference. Such books shall be retained completely in the format in which they were originally generated, sent or received, or in a format which shall present accurately the information generated, sent or received, and the information contained in the electronic record shall remain complete and unaltered. This only shows the fear of the Ministry of Cabinet Affairs for digitalization. They are so afraid of digital records that it's like Hiranyavaram they are trying to do here. It's like Hiranyakasipu kept on asking, should not be from here, should not be from there, should be like this, should be like that. They have not understood digital at all. That is the problem. See, they are thinking that, Hiranyakasipu thought, he could control the supreme creator of the universe in a finite place. And he was asking again and again, where is he, where is he? But digital is infinite. The same data will reside in so many places. See, you are able to understand now. So, we'll come to foreign branches. I'll be talking about that. Don't worry. It will be covered in a little later. So right now, Sweetie ji, you have to wait a little bit. Calm. Saburi, you have to little bit. You have to calm. Patience. Welcome there. Saburi karna chahiye. You have to be a little bit calm and patient. I'll come to that. Okay. Now, so this is stupidest thing they are trying to say. All that they are saying is, when I want it, you should be able to give it to me. Which is very, you can come and take it, Baba, it is there. I'll give you the access code. You take wherever you are sitting, you can do it. You don't have to come to my office also. Wherever you are sitting. In fact, today, auditing is not done by going to the client place. Yeah. So most clients are having distributed data processing, ERP. Data is residing in the cloud or in a server. Okay. Secured access is there. My team just goes and takes a view access or view write. Then that's it. We are there. We don't have to. When will we come there? After going through it, thoroughly analyzing it, we want to see the original record. Then only come. That also many cases what we do post-pandemic or during pre-pandemic itself, we were ready. Companies were not ready. They wanted us to come and sit there and waste their time. I have no problem. Send 5 fellows there. They will sit and eat lunch, tea, dinner and go. They will keep doing auditing. Is it today? What auditing? You have to satisfy yourself that what they are stating in the balance sheet and P&L are supported by data. So if you are able to give me scanned images, okay. But if I have some suspicion about it, I will come to your office and I will see the original voucher. I should be able to do that. So it should be retained completely in the format in which they were originally generated. So if all the physical bills have to be kept, you cannot destroy them. But I think over a period of time, they will permit it to be scanned and kept for some shorter duration and destroyed. And I think over a period, we may not have printed bills at all. See, today, mostly bills, they come online. You don't have to print it. In my humble view, we should not have to print bills and keep it and all that. There's no need for that. We can keep it in digital form, use it. So that's my humble view, in such a way that it cannot be altered. That's it. So long as you can do it that way. After all, why do we retain physical record? So that it cannot be falsified, forged or altered. That is the goal of maintaining physical vouchers and all that. In fact, when one income tax hearing, the income tax officer, talking about easily 17, 18 years ago, 22 years ago, when I was a rookie charter, not a rookie, but 7 years experience, I go there and I just go there and I give the data and all that. The additional commissioner, I think it was the deputy commissioner, he was going through it. Again and again, he's asking me. He's going through the vouchers and he's seeing 1 or 2 vouchers, checking, I'm showing. It is there, pakka, tallying. Mr. Srikanth, please be clear. If you have any self-made vouchers, kindly confess now. If your client is having any self-made vouchers, kindly confess it now. We will take it out. He was threatening me. I said, sir, please don't mistake me, sir. I want to tell you one thing. Yeah, go on. Sir, all the vouchers are self-made, sir. You're so, see, I told you, no, all the vouchers are self-made. Oh, sir, all the vouchers are self-made only, sir. They are made by my client only. Now, please ask me the correct question. Whether any voucher is not supported by bills and whether every voucher is signed by the recipient. That is pakka, sir. Every voucher is self-made by my client, but the recipient has signed it. And wherever necessary, it is supported by original bills. He got totally disappointed. Said, Srikanth, you are talking very smartly like that. It's not like that, sir. If you keep on telling self-made voucher, what can I do? All vouchers are made by my client only. Vouchers are printed by my client only. But the recipient has signed it. Payee has signed it. And the supporting proof is there. Now that supporting proof is where sometimes we have to maintain physical. Otherwise, everything can be in electronic form. Sorry, I have to go back to see. Books of account of a branch office may be kept at that office. I'm so sorry. I think Sweetie was talking about this because there is a separate set of provisions on books maintained at branch, but basically branch office includes foreign branches also. Obviously, branch means foreign branches. Okay, so books of account of the company should be maintained in the head office or in the register office or such other place. Branch office may be kept at that office, but summarized return should come to the registered office or the other place where you're taking. Branch of foreign branches can keep it at that. There, the in India condition is not to be included. Okay, I think that was your question, now, Sweetie ji. I hope you got the answer. Foreign branches can maintain books of account there. Summary should come here. Okay, more about it a little later. I think your question is now answered. For the financial year commencing on or after the first day of April 2023, every company which uses accounting, see, I think they mean financial years commencing on or after first day of April 23, because only one financial year will commence on or after the first day. That means only 1st April 2024. But no, they are talking about all the future years commencing on or after first day of April 2023. Every company which uses accounting software for maintaining its books of account shall use only such accounting software which has a feature of recording audit trail of each and every transaction, creating an edit log of each change made in books of account, along with the date when such changes were made, and ensuring that the audit trail cannot be disabled. Wow! Suddenly these fellows have become IS auditors, I say. Suddenly these MCA wallahs have got so much knowledge on IS auditor. Boss, this is something we always have to ensure. Yeah, this is not something that can be made statutory. If I am the chartered accountant, I am the auditor, I will ensure whether audit trail is there. If audit trail is not there, then my way of approach will be totally different. If audit trail is there, then my way of approach will be totally different. Are you able to understand? If the audit trail is there, then the way I verify transaction will be totally different. But if you say audit trail is not there, then so they need not do all this. But now they are saying you have to maintain audit trail. What is audit trail? You know, and a transaction is entered in the books of account. Who entered it? That will be captured. The user ID and login user ID and the password. Sorry, the whose login it came. Who made that entry? That will be captured. More importantly, if that entry is being changed, then the edit log also will be there. And that should be kept permanently till I say delete it, it should be there. The auditor has the right to review the log. We also, as part of IS audit, we review the edit log. Okay, but there is much more than this thing. This is called logical access control. In our IS audit, this is called logical access control. First of all, I want to be sure that only a certain level of employee can do change itself. If that itself is not there, that's a weakness in my internal control. If the only person who has changed the record should be a supervisor. If the man who made the entry is able to edit it, sorry sir, internal control weak. And certain degrees of change also. Who can do what? Delete cannot be done by anybody except top man, the manager. Nobody like that. So this is called audit trail. And it should not be possible even for the sys administrator to disable the audit trail. That is, it should not be possible for a short while for the sys administrator for any reason to disable the audit trail, which means what the systems administrator can disable the audit trail, then do some nonsense, and then again enable it. And then what happens? Any change made during that period, you will never know who did it. So no, it cannot be done. If such facilities are being given in the software, It's a good accounting software, but I will not treat it beyond that. I will treat it like any other software, and I will conduct my audit through the system, no doubt, but with a lot of suspicion about transactions, that these transactions may not reflect a correct position, like that. Whereas if audit trail is there and data cannot be changed without knowing who did it, then I'll be very. But this is in addition to other controls that I will check, whether password control is there, whether password can be changed frequently. So many things are there, my dear friends. It's a separate ocean subject by itself called IS audit or IT audit or risk assessment, which is I don't know if it is there in your rates. I think it's removed from your intermediate syllabus. Maybe when you come to final, you will learn, or it's a specialization like I'm a certified information systems auditor, member of the Information Systems Audit and Control Association, ISACA. So, which is a US-based certifying body where I'm certified by ISACA as a CISA, Certified Information Systems Audit. Separate subject by itself. But our friends are becoming authority on that also. The MCA walas are becoming authority on that also. Okay. Now we come back to Ms. Sweetie Kumari's question about branch. The information received from branch officers shall not be altered and shall be kept in a manner where it shall depict what was originally received from the branches. If you want to know what is the meaning of another word for depict, I will give a better word, show. Where it shall show what was originally received from the branches. Okay. The information in the electronic record of the document shall be capable of being displayed in a legible form. The audit committee or the board shall ensure that there is a proper system of storage, retrieval, display, or print out. Again and again, these fellows want print out. Yeah. They are locked with physical. They are very uncomfortable with digital. I'm telling you, most of the government walas, income tax, MCA, they are very uncomfortable with electronic records. Anything for them, if you print it out, it is proof. If it is not on paper, it is not proof, like that. Printout of the electronic record. Sometimes I'll be very surprised. They will say, Mr. Shrikant, please bring all the submissions you have made. I said, sir, all these submissions are on the portal, sir. I have uploaded it with digital signature. Kindly have a look. No. That is there on the system. You bring printout, sign it and give it to me. I said, Baba, I've signed it, Baba. Digitally, it is there. Look at it on your screen. No. On screen, I'm afraid. Show me on paper. Like, oh, chalo, no problem. For me, what to do? One more tree is cut down in the forest. It's okay. I will print it and give it to you. What to do? As a man who is an environmentalist, sort of pseudo-environmentalist, I try my best to save the world. Whatever little I can do, whatever little you can do. The least you can do, have a cloth bag. The least you can do, at least have 2 cloth bags in your house. When you go out for buying vegetables, definitely not tomato, not in Chennai at least, we are unable to buy tomato. But any other vegetable, if you're going to buy, kindly take cloth bag. In my state, enlightened state of Tamil Nadu, our government has prohibited plastic. Okay. So no shop can use plastics. So plastic bags are all gone. Even they do supply some kind of decomposable or biodegradable plastic bags, which are biodegradable. But even for that, they charge you. They charge you $5 or $6 or $10. Or for cloth bag, they charge you $20. No, I have about 5 or 6 cloth bags. One in all my cars, I have in the dicky, I have 2 cloth bags and 1 shopping bag. And in my motorbike also, in the where you keep the helmet part, I keep 1 cloth bag. In Coimbatore, where I live, again, there everywhere I'll keep cloth bags, so that even if I forget and I go to the shop, it's there in that, and I will use the cloth bag. Okay, you might say, is it going to make a big difference? I don't know. Maybe if all of us do this, one more generation may be able to enjoy better. Of course, all that is of no avail, because we are going to destroy this planet. We as a species are going to destroy this planet by our laziness and by our need for comforts. So we are going to destroy this planet, but at least we can postpone it by another 100 years now. And it's not a very long period, 100 years. By the time our grandchildren are born, your grandchildren are born, this planet will be gone. Slowly, we will be moving towards the entropy. And that is when, our children or grandchildren will have no other go. They will have to go to Mars or Moon. By then the science will develop. At the cost of environment, our science will develop. And that science will take us to moon or Mars, where we may discover a little bit of water there, some atmosphere. We will create our own atmosphere there, and we will survive, and we will mine. We will become rich, but destroy them also like that. Welcome to a great future of the humanity. Sorry for unnecessarily digressing to an unnecessary topic, but think about it. So do something to save whatever you can. Don't leave a footprint. Don't leave a carbon footprint, please. Okay, take it off. My humble suggestion, don't mistake me for paper bags. Use less paper. Use Kindle for reading. Use a tab for reading. Don't buy books. I have a library of 23,500 books. But what to do? All that paper I have wasted. Now, in my Kindle, I can store thousands of books in my Kindle and I can read it. But I have purchased these books. They are there. But I have reduced my books purchase. Book in physical form. I prefer to download on Kindle and read it. Whatever little you can do to save the environment. Don't avoid doing it. Chalo, coming to the topic. So these MCA walas are definitely not helping environment. Yeah. They want everything to be printed out. Okay. Such records shall not be disposed of or rendered unusable unless permitted by law. Later on, you'll be seeing that accounts to be maintained for some certain period of time. So once that period is over, you can destroy, even electronically. Okay. Backup of all data, including data at foreign location, to be kept on servers physically located in India. Thank you. No problem. We'll do it. So they are saying that backup should be in India. For example, some of you might be already hiring cloud space on Amazon, AWS, or Google, and you might be using that data. You might be using those servers. For example, when you use the Google server, you're keeping your data in a foreign server, but very small. You need more space, so you have to buy space. Okay, whatever. That's a business by itself. It's going to happen. Almost all of us are going to move to the cloud. So in India, the cloud movement is still restricted. You find even large companies are yet to shift to the cloud fully. They still prefer to use their own servers rather than shift to the cloud fully. They still got fear of cloud. Okay. I'm sure all of you know what is the cloud, right? Where data is not stored in your system, but in some third-party service provider who has huge storage capacity, where you hire storage space, logically secured. Nobody else can access your space. You store your data there and you retrieve it. Anybody can access it through the logical control. So very powerful thing, which means that you can have data anywhere. You don't have to be in a physical location or connected through a LAN. Okay, you can be connected through Wi-Fi, but you are connected to the net, and through the net you can even create a virtual private VPN, and you can virtual public network, and you can access your data, whatever you want. The company shall intimate to the registrar on an annual basis at the time of filing of financial statement, the name of the service provider, the internet protocol address of service provider, the location of service provider means the data storage. Where are you keeping your data? The location of the service provider, where the books of account and other books and papers are maintained on cloud. So finally they use the word cloud. So that's why I explained cloud to you. Such address as provided by the service provider. So this is nothing but a URL. Because again and again I'm telling you, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has absolute right to inspect the books of account at any time. So if they come, you have to give it access to them. So now since they're saying it's all online, they say give me the data, not access, the address, so that I know it is there. I can even get a court order and ask them to show it to me. That's my job. Or I can ask you, and if you don't give it, I will get a court order and ask the service provider to provide it to me. The books of account of a company maintained within India shall be open for inspection by a director. See, inspection by NCA, the central government, is a totally different topic. You will study that when you come to final. Right, sir? This is the books of account of a company maintained within India shall be open for inspection by a director. Beautiful. See, again, I'm very happy that you're studying cloud in some other context, enterprise information system. Exactly. I'm only contextualizing it for you, showing that what you're learning in that subject has an application in company law. So it's a overall thing. It's not compartment is all I'm trying to say. Good. I'm happy that you're able to relate to that. So I'm sure with that class, you are well informed about cloud. Of course, cloud brings with it security problems, no doubt. I agree. It's up to you to fight it. It needs a discipline. It needs technology-based controls. It needs people. It needs so many things. It needs constant alertness. Okay, everything is needed. The books of account of a company maintained within India shall be open for inspection by a director. Director can access the books of account which is maintained in India. Where financial information is outside India, copies of the same shall be maintained and produced. So whenever he wants, director can visit the registered office and or wherever the books are maintained and ask, I want to see, you have to show. Inspection shall be done during business hours at the registered place or such other place where books of account are maintained. This is what books maintained in India. Outside India, copies have to be maintained and shown, right? Where an inspection is made by a director, as above said, the officers and other employees of the company shall give to the person making such inspection all assistance in connection with the inspection, which the company may be reasonably be expected to give. That is, they have to give him a chair and table, yeah, and maybe pencil, eraser and all that. Stationery, taking notes or whatever. And any question he is asking, you have to answer. He's a director. He's asking, if any vouchers he's asking, show it. You can't simply give him the books and say no. You have to answer his questions. But that's it. Opened by director. Can you, where is the opened by director? Madam, you know who is the director, right? Directors are responsible for day-to-day management. So the directors are entitled to shall be open for discussion, inspection. Open means, okay, here instead of using the word open, shall we use the word available for inspection? It is available for inspection. Books of account, inspection ke liye available hai. Or should be available. Okay. That's what they mean by that. Whenever the director wants to inspect it, he has to see it. He should be able to see it. So open. Open doesn't mean always they'll keep it open, Baba. Whenever he comes and asks you open and show him. You can't say, I will not show. Okay. Open. Open for inspection. You can say, I am open, sir. Everything is open. Whenever you want, you can come. I'll tell you. We are open. My doors are open. In that sense. The word open here is used in the context of transparency and readiness to submit for inspection anytime. Whenever he comes, I will provide. It's open. English is an unfortunate language. Unfortunately, treacherous language. What to do? But if you are able to run with that language a little more, then you will enjoy that language. Enjoy that language. One of the greatest writers in English, one of the greatest Indian writers in English. Okay. I think he was Kasuli near Shimla, I think. Great man. I think you must be knowing whom I'm talking about. A Sikh. A famous Sikh. Some of his books are beautiful books. Khushwant Singh, one of the best users of the English language. Humorous, simple, and very emotional, emotive. Okay. Yeah, means he can't deny, correct. You cannot, go beyond can't deny. It should be available. Okay, beyond deny. They have to give, yes, open. They can't deny like that. Khushwant Singh, great author. I don't know if it's native place. I think it is somewhere on the way to Shimla. I forget the name of the exact place of Khushwant Singh's great author. You should read. Okay. Director here refers to board of directors. Absolutely. member of the board of directors. Absolutely. Sorry. I thought it was a little obvious. Not the director general of income tax. No, it means director. Means a director on the board. See, you might ask, would the directors not be provided? Yes. See, think about it. You are a director of a company. You will come for the board meeting. I'll give you quarterly accounts or monthly review. Some summarized figures I'll give you. Now you are saying, no, I want to see the ledger. Can they say, no, you are not allowed to see the ledger, sir. Sorry, I've given you the summary statement now. Take it. No. As a director, you are entitled to inspect the books of account. And when you want to inspect, it should be open and available, and they should give you all cooperation. Now, inspection in respect of any subsidiary of the company shall be done only by the person authorized in this behalf by a resolution of the board of directors of the holding company. So the holding company ka board will authorize a person to do. Subsidiary ka books, the director of the holding company cannot see. Even director of subsidiary can see, but director of holding company cannot ask access to inspection of the subsidiary ka books. Subsidiary ka books, if you want to see, only a person authorized in this behalf by the board can see. Okay. When a director seeks financial information kept outside India, he shall make a specific written request. He can't just barge in during business hours and say, show me. Indian, yes, I can. The request for such financial information shall be made by the director himself and not by or through his power of attorney or agent for foreign information, financial information kept outside India. Such financial information shall be provided within 15 days of receipt of written request. Okay. So, one of the directors of Suryodaya Pharma Limited has sent a request for inspection of the books of account of the company. The CFO of the company refuses to provide access to the said books on the grounds that the director will be provided with the quarterly summary of financial position at board meeting. See the CFO, how arrogant he is. This is how these fellows will destroy their career. Advise the board of the company as to whether the action taken by the CFO is correct in the light of the relevant provisions of the Companies Act. Will your answer be different if the request is made by a shareholder? See, whoever wrote this session paper, 3 marks laddu. Straight away 3 marks laddu. It's given in your hand. If you write 5 intelligent sentences, you will get. But for that, you have to write this mark. You can't just like that say, you can't just like that answer to this question cannot be the board of directors of the company is hereby advised that the action taken by the CFO is not correct in the light of the relevant provisions of the Companies Act 2013. For that, I will give you half mark. You have to write the entire section, Baba. Right from this 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 up to here. Reasonably be expected. After writing that, you say, therefore, the board of directors of the Suryodaya Pharma Limited is hereby advised that the act done by the CFO is not correct. Okay. Sir, subsidiary is a separate legal entity, na Mohammed. The subsidiary is a separate legal entity, na. So that separate legal entity ka books the director of this company cannot see. Holding company cannot see. So if at all somebody has to inspect it, it can be done only by, it is not restricted. They are only giving a clarity. The directors of the holding company cannot inspect books of any single director cannot go. If the holding company wants inspection of subsidiary books, then they should authorize a person. It's only, if you answer your question, it is because the fact that holding and subsidiary are separate legal entities. See, I think this is meant to prevent director of a holding company from demanding inspection of books of a subsidiary straight away. He cannot. If he wants, then he can get himself authorized by the board and then only he can. I think that is the purpose. Will your answer be different if the request is made by a member? Anybody? Will your answer be different if the request is made by a shareholder? Can a shareholder demand inspection of books? They have used the word shareholder here. I strongly beg to differ. The word should be member. Okay. Because how do I know you are owning the share? Unless you inform me about the transfer and I register your name in the register of members. Only then you will become member. And if your name is not in the register of members, and you show me some DP record and all, it's not enough for me. Shareholder. But still, for the time being, assume shareholder, they mean member. What is your answer? Will your answer be different if the request is made by a member? Or to put it differently, can a member inspect the books of account of a company? What is your view? Can a member inspect the books of account of a company where he is a shareholder or where he is a member? No. Why? Absolutely. Your answer is correct. My answer will be different, or a member is not entitled to request or demand inspection of books of account. The reason is simple. First of all, there may be 3,000 members. Each fellow comes and wants to see one entry in the ledger. It's a waste of my time. After all, you are being represented by the man whom you appointed as an auditor. Am I correct or not? Who appoints the auditor? Not the board. Later on, we'll be seeing in the next class, auditing, and the next topic, auditing and auditors. Initially, maybe first auditor we are appointing. After that, only members are appointing the auditor. Auditor represents the members. Auditor reports to the members. Here is the guy. He is going to come. He is going to put a rod everywhere in my body and check. And then he is going to give a report to you. Will you read that report and read the balance sheet and P&L at the end of the year? That is all you are entitled. You cannot come and demand inspection and all. If I start doing that, 1, 2, confidentiality. See, some of these records are confidential records. I cannot show it all and sundry. If you may be a member holding one share, Baba, but for all I know, you may be a corporate espionage. So I cannot show it to be. Okay. No. He cannot even if he asks, if the request is, it is not mandatory, he need not show. There the CFO can politely tell him, see, as part of investor relations, better not hurt that gentleman, but politely tell him, sorry, sir, we cannot show you, we need not show you. Kindly get out. Don't say kindly get out, slowly. Not immediately, but in course of time, try to make yourself absent from this place. Go. Shareholder is not entitled to inspection, to request for inspection of books. It's not stated anywhere. Director is entitled, shareholder is not entitled. By not mentioning, it means that it cannot be done. Okay. Aditya Ram, Director of Suntech Infosystems Limited, which has an office in Seattle, USA, demands certain financial information relating to the Seattle operations over phone. Simply calling from Seattle and saying, you send me these details. I want to know this, like that. Now, examine the validity of this request. So, first one. In case the written request is sent by Mr. Aditya Ram's advocate on his behalf, should the financial information be provided? Here again, humble request. Before writing, please write these 3 lines. Specific written request. So firstly write, according to rule 4 of the blah, 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 specific written request has to be made. As Mr. Aditya Ram has made the demand over phone, the same is not valid. Agreed. Now, can Aditya Ram's advocate do it? No. The request of such information shall be made by the director himself and not by or through his power of attorney holder. If you want as a bonus, you say such information, if validly requested, should be provided within 15 days. But that's not relevant for this. 2 marks question, 2 lines and answer. Write first line, write this. Write this, 1 mark. Write this, 2 marks. That's all. Enjoy. Out of 2, they may not give you 2, or they may even give 2. See, one more trick I will tell you. If there are questions which are divided into 3, 3, 2, like that, answer that question. Because if you are right, For 2 marks, they cannot keep 1.5 and all. Fellow will be generous and put 2. Whereas for a 6-mark question, he will not have the courage or guts to put 6. However well you have written, he will say 5, 3.5, 5. Okay. Whereas 2, he'll give 2. So that way your score will go higher and higher. It's just these are all small tricks that I use. Not, see, highly intelligent student like you doesn't have to bother about all these things. But a man like me needs to play every game he can to get 60, 65 and all. To get a rank, I need to play every game I can. I'm not as brilliant as some of you. I'm Buddhu. So I have to use every other trick that I have to got. So there I'll be very careful. I'll see where a question is divided into 2 or 3 small questions. I'll go for that. And I will write it because the chances of my getting high marks is there in that type of question. Correct. The request is invalid as per rule 4 of the, you write, companies, accounts of companies rules 2014, like that. The request shall be made in writing and only not by any representative. An ideal answer would be, first line will be written, then answer. Then second line will be written, then answer. Totally 4 lines would be written, for which you will get 2 marks fully. Now we come to preservation of books of account. Mr. Rama is asking one more question. Sir, can director is shareholder? In that case, he can do inspection. And it is not about whether the shareholder is a director or not. How to put it to you? Boss, what role are you playing here? You have to ask. What role are you playing here? As a shareholder, you cannot ask. As a director, you can ask. As a shareholder, you cannot ask. As a director, you can ask. Because he is a director, he cannot ask. A shareholder cannot ask. I think it's the role that is more important than this. You are only twisting and asking. So what? In which capacity are you entitled? There are capacities enough. So in which capacity are you entitled? As a director, you are entitled. If you are asking as a director, I'll give you. But as a shareholder, I won't give you. So it depends on how you are asking me, from what perspective you are asking. So here, the fact that he's a director is more important than shareholder. So once he is a director, then come under rule 4 and take or rule 3 and take it and go. No problem. I have no problem. But as a shareholder, if you're a pure shareholder, get out. But if you're a director, then how does it matter to me whether you are a shareholder or not? So long as you're a director, I have to show you. I hope you got the answer to my question, to your question, Mr. Rama. Capacity, see, as what is very important. In what capacity are you asking? Because all of us have different capacities. See, I did my articles with my own father. My father was my principal. You might think that's a great thing for you. Father, like that. My father was. In fact, in those days, we used to write books of account for our clients. So the trial balance will not tally. So my father's office was in the 3rd floor of a 3-story building, where we used to live in the ground and 1st floors. So there is to be one access from the front for the clients and one access from the inside for us to come and go and all. And typical, auditor office, and I'm sure some of you may be familiar with this type of thing. So which I destroyed. The first thing I did was I shifted my residence and I created my own building, 3-floor building where only office is there, no house. So my father used to, finally I will do the trial balance, I prepare the ledger, 589 rupees difference. I'll tell my father 589 rupees difference, sir. In what capacity I'm talking to my father? Not my father. He is the principal of the audit firm where I'm working. He was very clear about that. If I cannot refer to him as father in the office. He is my boss. So as a boss, he will very clearly say, look here, you tally and then come. Then as a father, he will go to my mother and say, unless he tallies the trial balance, do not give him dinner. My mother will be very worried. She knows that son is not eaten, but she will not give because her husband has told her, see the roles. This man, he's the boss, he's the father, he's the husband. In the role of husband, he commands the wife. In the role of father, he tells the mother not to give food to the son. In the role of boss, he tells, tally and then come, otherwise don't go. So many roles. But all the roles he played only good for me. Okay, because I tell, so my mother will come up and say, that man is telling something, quietly you come, you eat something and go. Then you again come and do it. Then I say, no, unless I tally, I won't come. So I used to total up again, finally tallied. Then after tallying it, that may be around 9:30, 10. Then I will come down, have my dinner and go to bed. Okay, so just for your information, I'm telling you, this is the problem, with life. Many things, if you do articles with father, it must be easy like that, you'll be thinking. Let me assure you, some fathers are not like all fathers. And some sons are not like all sons. Huh? That is the problem. So capacity, you understand. I know I'm wasting your time, Rama, by giving all these unnecessary gups-up stories. But the point is, understand, if you understand this simple concept, now you would not ask this question itself. In which capacity is that fellow talking? Is he a husband? Is he a father? Is he in every capacity? He has certain rights. He has certain duties. So which capacity are you in? Okay. Books of account together with relevant vouchers shall be preserved for a period of not less than 8 financial years immediately preceding. 8. Sirf 8. For 8 years you have to Muhammad says your father was very strict. No, my father was not strict. Okay, he was strict. But with the other people, he will not be. With the other article clerks, he will not be so strict. With his own son, he was strict. I don't know why. Means with the other article clerks, he was very friendly. Means he will not press so much. Though he was, of course, equally he was a perfectionist with them also, but not to this level. So even those article clerks, who used to work with me along in my father's firm, they will be sympathetic for me. They'll say, hey, Srikanth, this is too much, how you are handling. They became too close to me. Initially, they were thinking, boss is his father, so he will take advantage like that. But they found a situation where the son is being treated worse than the others. So they realized this fellow. So they used to feel bad. So in a way, my father did rightly only. No regrets. Maybe if that is what he was, it was good. Better. See, when the plant is growing, we have to put it within certain wooden frames. Only then the tree or plant will go straight. Suppose that wooden frame is not there, suppose that framework is not there, the plant will not go straight and it may not grow at all. It may be stunted. This is the unfortunate role that parents have to play. Okay. And that is the role my father decided to play in the way he decided to play it. Which was right or wrong, I'm not to judge. Okay. But that is not the way I played with my children. That is 100%. But my children also, I prepared a framework for them. But that framework was something that they placed it by themselves. I showed them how to place the framework, but I didn't place it. They placed it. And in the framework that they placed it, they worked and they succeeded in their life. I didn't place the framework for them. I didn't say, do this, do that. This is how, this is how. I said, this is the ideal. This is the best. This is how, in this situation, a great person will do. Now you decide what you are going to do. And they had the chance. Good, Jasprit ji. You are also going to be lucky in having such a good father, which is a good thing for you also. Okay, good. I think today's class is a little bit going out of context, but then it's okay because Buddha hai na mein. So it's good to tell some of these things to you because you are the bridge generation, na? You are the bridge because you are the bridge between me, Jasprit's father and others, and the next generation, your children. You are the bridge. So that bridge has to be educated. Then only you can communicate it to the next generation. How will the knowledge of wisdom of one generation be communicated to the third generation? Only through the second generation. Unless we tell you, how will they know? We can't tell them directly. By then, we may become very old or they may not be ready to listen. Or maybe you will be better positioned to tell them at that time. Good. So, since art, year, art sal, I don't know, year means sal, Mahina is month, sal. No, sal is age. Okay, I don't know. So 8 financial years immediately preceding. So 8 years. But please be careful. 8 is too risky. So what I generate, 8 is statutory. Once the 8th year is over, you can destroy. Okay, now immediately somebody will ask, sir, if company is not completed 8 years, what to do, sir? Then company has been in existence for less than 8 years. Then the same shall be preserved for all immediately preceding financial years till you reach 8 years. Once you reach 8 years, you complete 8 years. Okay, then the first year can go. The first year should be maintained for 8 years now. From the date you prepare the financial records, that record 8th year. My suggestion, don't be too think about 8. I make it 10. All my clients, I have given them instruction 10 years. Once the 10th year is over, that 11th year you enter, the first year you go and destroy. No problem. So don't keep it. Physical record, it will be taken to some place, either in the terrace or in the garden outside or somewhere, and then kept. And security will come, I will go, or my office representative from auditor office will go. One company accounts representative will come. They will burn it. It will be signed. Register will be maintained. Signed. All these are burnt and kept. Why? Because tomorrow if somebody says, sir, as per Companies Act, I am only asked to maintain 8 years. As per Income Tax Act, maximum 6 years. Because at the end of the 6th year and all, you cannot reopen the assessment for me. Because 14 years possible only for international transactions. So safe is 10 years. Nobody can do anything to you beyond that. Of course, in India, we need not worry. Some flood will come, some earthquake, something will come and destroy for us. In addition to that, every 8th year, once the 8 years is over, you need not retain the physical record. They also make it very clear. The provisions of Income Tax Act shall also be complied with in this regard. Okay. See, one more thing. Where you're going for 6, even for block assessment, I think it's only 6 years. They cannot go beyond 6 years. Entire 6 can be taken. I may be subject to correction, but so 10 years is safe. You destroy it. I mean, you can only destroy the vouchers, books, and papers and all. The balance sheet P&L forever. The financial audited financial statement signed forever. No destroy. Only the vouchers and all can be destroyed. But today, when it's all in digital form, you can. But see, again, my dear friend, digital space is becoming costlier. Storage space is, you're hiring it. Earlier, we thought unlimitedly we can crunch and hold. But today, I mean, you can maybe buy some data servers and keep it. Even then, it's going to cost you money. So you can also delete it everywhere. Why keep it? Okay. Beyond 10 years, nobody bothers. Yeah, 10 years before, nobody bothers. I mean, you cannot, even if you go back, nobody has the ability to think so far back and do. Even if it's reopened, very difficult. Where an investigation has been ordered by the central government, then they can say, keep it till we tell you to destroy. As I told you, inspection and investigation is a separate chapter, which is there in your final syllabus. Where such an investigation has been ordered under that law, under that chapter, then as one of the orders, the CG may say, don't destroy any books of account. Whatever is now there, keep it. Even if it is going to go beyond 8 years, no problem. We don't want you to destroy any evidence, keep it. In fact, what they will do is they will even seize it. They have the power to seize it and they will keep it. No. There is no need for signature of CA. There is no need for signature of CA. The company can itself destroy it. No problem. But you see, sometimes some clients request auditors also to be there as a sort of an additional precaution. Whatever it is, but somebody from finance department should be there. Security fellow should be there. And security wala should be there. I tell you why. Security, because something is being burnt, which is first of all, safety hazard. Secondly, it could be some criminal act also. Therefore, a security wala should also be there to prevent anything from being burnt unnecessarily. Okay. What if company refuses to destroy books of account? Don't destroy. What is my problem? Enjoy, keep it. Sir, if they keep it, I'm happy. They want to destroy, let them destroy. If you want to keep it, keep it. Enjoy. Why should I prevent? See, what they are saying, they are not saying books of account shall be destroyed after a period of 8 years. They are saying books of account shall be preserved for a period of not less than 8 financial years. You want to preserve it for more than 8 years? Welcome, enjoy. If you have acres of land, build warehouses and keep it. Who's preventing you here? Okay, I have no problem. Enjoy. I will just appreciate your ability to maintain your records. No company will want. They will want to destroy only. Believe me. On the other hand, most companies want to know when they can destroy. That is why I send my fellow also to be there. You know why I send my fellow? It is not statutory requirement. Please listen to me. There is no need for auditor to be there when the books are destroyed. It is not a statutory procedure. In my case, my clients, and in general, I insist. Why? Because, these jokers are capable of destroying current data also. Some of these accounts, the buffoons in accounts department, they will destroy current year's record also. Sorry, sir, I didn't know, sir. That you'll say. That is one of my fellows will go there and check. I'm talking mainly about my SME clients, and mid-level and mid and large, up to 300 crore clients, not listed, unlisted. Listed company, what is my problem? You are all big shots, CFO and all, you take it. I'm talking about my SME clients, 100 crore to 300 crore are there, one group, who are pretty big, but not listed, closely held, public companies. And in those cases, the accounts also will be very big, but they'll have to destroy. At that time, some of these monkeys can do anything. Sorry, that here we didn't know, this, So we go there and ensure that what is being burnt is the correct year being burnt. That is why my client also wants me to go and check it up and then only burn it. Okay. So finally, we come to an end of section 128. It says penalty, as usual, penalty. Okay. So if you are contravening any of the provisions, section 128, see who is responsible. Managing director. Whole-time director in charge of finance. That fellow who is in charge of finance. No, not other directors. Do you notice it? Non-whole-time directors, other directors, no. Only managing director, straight. Whole-time director in charge of finance. Then chief financial officer. If you have appointed him as a CFO. Simply designation is not enough. The board meeting should, as a board resolution, you have to appoint him as a CFO. Any other person of a company charged by the board with duty of complying with provisions of section 128, which could be called manager accounts, head accounts, whatever you are called. Board resolution is there. The board hereby authorizes Mr. Vasudevan, chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, blah, 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 to be the person charged with the duty of complying with the provisions of section 128. Mr. Vasudevan shall be provided all support, etc. Board resolution will be passed. That's all. Vasudevan up. Thereafter, if the accounts are not complying with section 128, this gentleman also is liable, though he is not a director, though he is not CFO, though he is not KMP. You got it? So any other person of the company, employee, charged by the board with duty of complying with provisions, whatever it is, if there is a non-compliance with section 128, then fine of 50,000 up to rupees 5 lakhs. Earlier, there was an imprisonment which has been omitted. I have also omitted it here, but for the sake of information, I'm giving you that such a case, it has been amended. So, as part of decriminalizing the Companies Act, they have removed this concept of fine. Okay. Okay, we move on to the next section, which is 129. Before that, a small definition of the cost of printing is substituted by cost of buying storage. Yeah, no, cost of storage is not very high. The cost of storage is not high. Definitely cheaper than printing, but even that is a consideration today, is what I'm saying. That is a consideration today. That's all I'm saying. Okay, in fact, today in 1 TB or 2 TB, you can store a lot of data. But the problem again is, believe me, if you store it in a HDD drive, the data gets corrupted. After 2 to 3 years, if you don't use it and you take it out, there's corruption. So you need to keep multiple backups. So many problems are there. Or you have to maintain in SDD drives, which is costlier. So on and so forth. So that's a bigger conundrum, but I'm sure we'll solve it. Mankind will solve the memory problem. Moore's law is also there. There's something called Moore's law. Moore's law says, long ago, as early as 1976, late 70s, when the concept of chips and memory had come, processing had come. That was when early stage of computing, when mainframe computers were there using valves and using, circuit solid state systems were very, very unstable at that time, when memory was not the type of memory we have today. At that time, Moore propounded that the storage devices and processing devices will become smaller and smaller, while the processing speeds will become geometrically. So this will become smaller, but this processing speeds will grow up geometric proportion. It will grow. This will go down and that will go up in geometric proportion. So today we have RFID, which is just nanoparticles which contain data and can not only contain data, it can receive and store data also. RFID. So we are moving towards nano. It's small, minute, microscopic. I don't know what's going to happen in future. Anyway, so cloud storage, if you think it's safe, I will agree with you, Kuldeepji. Absolutely. Cloud is definitely safer. If you know how to protect yourself, cloud is safer. And if you use encryptions, etc., cloud is definitely safe. Floppy drives were there, like LP records, all sorts of things. Even cassettes were there. I don't know if you know. Before floppy drives, we used to store it on cartridges, data cartridges, like the same concept as a cassette player and a LP record. Yesterday, in those days, today, let's not even waste our time on that. Why balance sheet and P&L kept more than 8 financial years? Anna, I am not saying more than 8 years now. It has to be kept in there. That's all. You can't destroy it. That's all I'm telling. However long you have to keep it. It's a financial statement, yeah. Don't you think it should be retained? What do you think? Common sensically, you answer me. Should the law tell you to retain it, or as your company's records, will you not maintain it? I think you should hold, at least for your, see, later on, if you're going to celebrate 50 years of your company, don't you want to show the first year annual report? Don't you want to show it to people as an article of, as a great heirloom in your company? Don't you want to show it? I think it will be preserved. For example, some of my journals that I was writing when I was 12 years old, 13 years old, I have still preserved. I'm having it. Journal. I write a journal. Every day I write a journal about my experiences and all. These journals are preserved by me. I'm not destroying them. Why should I? They are the record of my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions and good things that I heard. All that is there. I don't think I will destroy it. Certain things are not to be destroyed. They become permanent records for the company. And these are summarized statements of the financial position of the company, duly audited. I think it should not be destroyed. But if you still want to go ahead and destroy, Baba, destroy. There is no law which says you have to maintain. I am suggesting that you should not. Yeah, see, these are all old records that are very, very important. Even share certificates, in my humble view, should not have been allowed to be destroyed because there are some huge collectible share certificates. In fact, but these share certificates today with dematerialization would have been submitted to the company. I wish companies retain these old certificates. Some of them are as old as pre-independent share certificates are there. Some companies are pre-independence there. They were incorporated before independence, before the so-called Companies Act came into existence. There are companies like that. At the time when the Companies Act was enacted, there were companies in existence, listed companies. Mumbai Stock Exchange precedes your Companies Act. So Bombay Stock Exchange precedes your Companies Act. Okay. So there was an English Companies Act. Yeah. Indian Companies Act means English law made by British for us, like Indian Contract Act. There was an Indian Companies Act. Okay. That Companies Act was very much there. 56 law only came later to replace that. There was an Indian Income Tax Act, 1922. It was there. Then only the 61 Act came. Okay. For your information. Good. Now we move on to financial. See, today what I'm planning to do, with your permission. Okay, wife, I will have a small break now. Before we start the new topic, let us have a small break for 5 minutes. Time now is about 7:50. Let us take a break for 5, max 10. There is maximum 8 o'clock we have to start again. Okay, sir? We'll go. continue and maybe stop at around 8:15 or so. Choice is yours without a break. Quickly, anybody can give me heads up. Shall I continue without a break or shall we have a 5-minute break? Choice is yours. 5 to 10 minutes break. Quickly, don't waste your time because that means the time will be wasted. Hello. Since nobody is responding, I will decide. We will continue without break. With break, please continue. Your choice. Continue without break. Shivam, since you are only asking for break, that too, you are asking for BRAKE break, which is there in the car. Okay, whereas I want BREAK. You are putting the E and K, A in different places. You pull the E inside. BREAK. No break. We'll continue till 8:10, maximum 8:15, 8:20, and we'll stop. Okay, no break. Shivam, if you are in a hurry, just go and come for a biology break and you can join. Right. Now, so financial statement. Financial statement. Unfortunately, a singular is used here, though there are more than one statements. The whole thing together, all these documents together are called financial statement, meaning balance sheet, P&L, profit and loss account, and in case income and expenditure, cash flow, then statement of changes of equity, if applicable. Okay. Then any explanatory notes annexed to are forming part of financial statements. These two words are going to become very interesting and important. Annexed and attached. Friends, make a note of this somewhere. Annexed means part and parcel. Meaning, annexed means, it's like, I don't know if I have what I need. Yes, I have. See. I don't know if you can see this. This is a stapler. I take a paper. I take these two papers. Now this is the balance sheet. This is the balance sheet for your information. Example. This is the P&L. I annex the profit and loss account to the balance sheet. I annex it and I staple it. Now it becomes part and parcel. Any document which is annexed to the balance sheet is a part and parcel. Any document which is annexed to the balance sheet is part and parcel. That means the auditor's report will extend to it. So the notes, explanatory notes, huge notes are there, they are annexed. Now, the director's report is attached. What does that mean? See, I am using a clip and I am attaching. This is called attached. This is called annexed, part and parcel. Whereas this is called attached. I'm just clipping it on. Whenever I want, I can remove it. Attached means I can remove it. Annexed means part and parcel. Very important. Any document which is annexed to the financial balance sheet. See, the balance sheet is the first. I got the balance sheet, then I annex the P&L, then I annex the cash flow statement, then I annex the statement of changes of equity, then I annex the explanatory notes. I am the auditor, I'm signing all these things. When I sign the balance sheet and say it's true and fair, everything which is annexed is covered in my audit report. But anything which is attached, no. The audit report itself is attached, but that is my report. The board of directors report, which you'll be seeing a little later, the director's report is attached to the balance sheet. I have nothing to do with it because it is yours. You say what nonsense you say. My certificate does not extend to the attached, only to the annexed. Sorry if I'm using the first person pronoun I, my, because yes, I am a practicing member and I do sign balance sheets. So when I'm signing balance sheets, when I sign the balance sheet, My signature is covering, my report is covering, my certificate is covering balance sheet and every document which is annexed to it, but not anything which is attached to it. So in future, when you see any document connected with financial statement, check out what word is being used. Are we using the word annex or are we using the word attached? Okay. These two words have significantly different meanings in law when they are used. So be careful when you see the word in this subject, in this context, in the context of financial statements, in the context of accounts of companies. Later on elsewhere, but even then the word annex means it becomes part and parcel. See, you are preparing internal audit report. There you are saying many purchases have been made without generating the purchase order, or purchases have been accounted without purchase order reference. Okay. Certain instances of the same are kept in annexure 1. Means what? Your internal audit report is incomplete without the annexure. The annexure is part and parcel of your report, so that anybody who user of that report will go to the annexure and get his information from the annexure. Right, sir? This is for your information. So these are together become financial statement. Okay. If you had an opportunity, I'm sure, of going through the financial statement of a listed company, you will understand. If you have not done it before, which I'm sure you have done, but if you have not done it before, humbly requesting you to download a financial statement of a listed company. Ideally, 23 March or 22 March. Don't go for conglomerate businesses like Wipro or Reliance or ITC. No, go for simple businesses, single product or single business, Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, Dabur, something like that, simple, where you can go through it. Even that will be difficult, but go through it. And just go through it. As a project, you do it. And suddenly you will start getting connect with company law, with auditing, with accounts, financial reporting, in even some cases income tax. Suddenly your awareness will grow. And you will also start getting questions. Don't worry. Some of us, like faculty, can help you. Your seniors in office can help you. Keep asking questions. Slowly, your knowledge of accounting will improve. But this is a suggestion. Download a financial statement and go through it page by page. Keep a notebook with you. Whenever you have a doubt, raise the doubt. Look it up on Google. Still not understood. Then come to. Suddenly, your Ind AS and AS accounting standard knowledge will grow. Okay, this is just a suggestion. Maybe you are thinking, sir, I'm only doing intermediate level. Should I do all this? If you start now in a small way, believe me, when you come to final, the level at which you will have to do it will be more. Because in final level, the questions will be tougher. So now itself start doing the tough part rather than go for easy part. Financial statement with respect to one-person company, small company, dormant company, and private startup company. Private startup company may not include the cash flow statement. These three fellows, one-person company, small company, dormant company, and private startup company. Say private startup company, there will be no cash flow. Forget cash flow statement. Fellows are always going to take money from the equity funder and you spend it, enjoy it, and again go for more money, valuation money, finally close down and run away. So one-person company, small company, dormant company, and private startup company may not include the cash flow statement. Okay, sir? For the purpose of this section, except where the context otherwise requires, any reference to financial statement shall include any notes annexed to or forming part of such financial statement, giving information required to be given and allowed to be given in the form of such notes under this act. Before we go further into this, I have a question. If dormant companies aren't working, why there is concept of dormant companies in the law? First of all, dormant company is a concept you will be studying in final. If I attempt to teach you now, we'll be wasting your time. But definitely we have used the word dormant company. We should tell you what it is. I will tell you. What is it? Why this concept of dormant company? Mr. A and B enthusiastically formed a company, thinking that they are going to do something. They invested, blah, blah. Then suddenly they got other things to do. They want to move away. So best thing for them is to close the company now. So they should close. But instead what they think, hey, maybe 3 years later we may come back, or 4 years later we may come back and we may start again. We may want, at that time I don't want to start the company again fresh. So can I keep this company in cold storage? So the law permits you to do it. Under the New Companies Act, the law permits you to take a normal company so long as there is no financial transaction for 2 years. Completely nothing. Balance sheet is static, no change. Then if you're able to show that, you make an application to the registrar, he will record that it is a dormant company. If you go to the record of that company, it's a dormant company. During the dormant period, you don't have to do anything. Simply get it audited and file the annual return, that's all. You don't have to file cash flow statement, but balance sheet should be filed. And of course, the reduced fees and all that. So maintenance becomes easier. Just keep it dormant. Later on, once you want to start it, you can awaken it. You can revive it and you can start it. For that, there's a separate procedure. You can do it. Any number of years later, you can come and for 2 consecutive years, if you have no financial transaction, you are dormant. If you yourself voluntarily say you are dormant, you can apply and make it dormant. But if you don't say, then the registrar feels you are dormant, then that's a different thing. He will ask you whether you are functioning. If not, you will be treated as a defunct company and struck off the register. Even, see, that's what I'm saying. We are going into a final level topic. So dormant company is not meaning nobody forms a dormant company. You form a company for purpose of running. Then you find it's not happening. So you want to keep it in cold storage. You keep it dormant. Then again, you revive it. Like, cryo. You keep it in cryo, where it's in state of suspended animation. Okay. And then again, you can revive it. It's like coma. Then suddenly again, it will come up. Okay. Like that. The idea is to ensure that the company is not killed, but kept alive in coma. Whenever you want, or in suspended animation. Whenever you want, you go for application, revive it, they'll revive it for you. This is not illegal. Okay. It is legal. Done with the blessings of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay. See, when you hang a person who has committed a murder or a rape, is that a murder? Is it legal? What right have we to take life? But the government is allowing it, then that is legal. Anything which is permitted by the government is legal. Okay? Not really. In a democratic country, just because the government says something, we have the right to question it. Okay? It's a larger legal issue. You are studying simple topic like company law, but there is constitutional law. Okay? And going beyond that, you have natural laws of natural justice. Okay? Just because the law says something, it may not be just. You can question it. You can question a law. Nothing wrong in questioning a law. You have to obey the law till it is there, but while obeying it, you can question it. And you can say that law should be set aside like that. For example, attempt to commit suicide was illegal. Then in Andhra Pradesh alone, the Andhra Pradesh High Court said it is not illegal. The Andhra Pradesh High Court said a man has the right to take his life. Then again, Supreme Court decided very clearly, 302, very clearly they said, you have no right to take your own life. Therefore, today, in Andhra Pradesh alone, for a short while, the old Andhra Pradesh, not the new one, old Andhra Pradesh, the larger Andhra Pradesh alone, attempt to commit suicide was not a crime. So if you want to commit suicide, go to Andhra Pradesh. But the rest of India, it's a crime under Indian Penal Code. Then again, later on, the Supreme Court decided, the case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, no. It is not like that. You cannot attempt to commit suicide is a crime. Okay. So today, don't worry. You can't attempt to commit suicide. Attempt to commit suicide is a crime. Okay, attempt to commit suicide is a crime. It's illegal. But successful suicide, nobody can do anything now. He's beyond our control here. Good. So I hope I have answered your question, madam. So dormant company, just you know the concept of dormant company, it is enough. Don't go beyond that for your syllabus. Later on in final, it's your unfortunate job to read it and know it. I don't know. By then, final, I think they are removing it law from the syllabus itself or something, meaning they are making it into self-driven or something like that. Self-paced. Self-paced. Okay. So you don't have to write the exam, but I think later on you have to write it as well. Okay. So all documents, when they are talking about any financial statement, they include any notes annexed to or forming part of such financial statement, giving information required to be given and allowed to be given in the form of such notes under this act. If you go through the balance sheet format of Schedule 3, after the balance sheet, every item there is instructions are there. Every item, how to represent it, instructions are there. When you're studying accounts, you will go through it. I'm sure the faculty will teach you, or at least you should know. For example, how the sundry debtor should be disclosed, how creditors should be disclosed. Everything will be there. The manner in which it should be represented, what is to be represented, everything. That's what Darshan, successful suicide cannot be punished. But unsuccessful suicide will be put in prison. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the real world. See, the fellow is already... Anyway, what to say? But you know something, I'll tell you one more thing. So many cases, people fail NEET, they don't get medical certificate, commit suicide. IIT, they don't get. IIT, they go, they are insulted, they commit suicide. All sorts of suicide, no. But have you ever heard one CA student committing suicide? Yeah. We keep on writing, we keep on failing, but we again write. Somehow we succeed. Most highly positive thinkers are CA students. Believe me, rarely you will see a non-positive thinker in our student community. Rarely. Keep on going. They are all very confident. This session I will pass like that. They'll never do it. I've never seen CA students committing suicide. Never. Rarely. Never, maybe 0.10% only. Otherwise, they are very clear. I will do it. This time I will do it. I have got that confidence. That way, CA students are to be appreciated for being great positive thinkers. Now, I'm not joking. I've been teaching for what? Started teaching at the age of 22. Now I'm 57. You figure it out. So I've been teaching what? So I don't know, 22 to 57. 57, no. 35 years now I've been teaching. So I've been, and I have mostly CA students. The energy is so high. When I teach the CA students now, my energy, I can get that energy from them. I'm able to get that positive energy from my students in physical mode. I used to get the energy from them. That energy will come to me. In fact, many times my wife used to ask, you're a successful CA, corporate trainer. Why are you going and taking these classes? Half the time I think in those days, I used to get heavy stress related mouth ulcer and all. Why are you doing it like that? I'm getting energy. Just by teaching to these students, I'm getting energy. Heavy energy. Morning, I used to, early morning, 6:30 to 8:30, we'll take classes. Then I'll go for my office work. Very highly energetic. Okay. Now, finally, we come to our great two mantras of our profession. True and fair view of the state of affairs of the company or companies. So, financial statement should give a true and fair view. Earlier, it was our unfortunate job to ensure or to certify that it gave true and fair view. Thanks to the Companies Act amendment, it is the board of directors' duty to ensure that the financial statements reveal a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company. It is not my job. It is their job. I have to verify whether it gives a true and fair view. Okay? That shifting of this burden to the board is one of the greatest things that happened. And one more thing, maintenance of books of account is his job. Ensuring that there is internal control is his job. that an auditor does not certify internal control. I merely come on one day and I verify the accounts and I say that day the balance sheet reveals the true and fair. Okay, doesn't mean that I'm not looking at internal control. If there is a suspicion, then I will verify internal control. But I have nowhere I can say internal control is weak. I will only qualify and go. Maybe I'll give a management letter. I will tell you, say, this is all weak, because of which only these I'm giving qualified. Next time you correct these systems, I will give a better report. That's all I can do. On that one day, I can only qualify. Okay. Improving the internal control system is in your hands. So that is the job of the management of the company. Okay. Should be in the form provided in Schedule 3. Financial statements of every financial year shall be laid before the company at every annual general meeting by the board. This is the mandatory part. Every financial year, you have to prepare your accounts, get it audited, and it should be laid, means presented before the company at every annual general meeting. Now we come to a nice topic. We will do this and then we will possibly stop today. Financial year. Friends, this is again defined in section 2, subsection 41. Financial year means the period ending on the 31st day of March every year. Okay, in case I have not mentioned it, or in case I have mentioned and you have forgotten, when the word YEAR, year, sirf year is used, only year, it means calendar year. The Gregorian calendar. See, the Gregorian calendar begins on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. It's called the Gregorian calendar. Okay, Pope Gregory, it was who instituted it. Okay, the Romans, the year began in January, okay, and ended in December. That was adopted by the Roman Catholic Church. Then later on by all the countries that were coming under the Roman Catholic Church, it's called the Gregorian calendar, and the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. We follow a different system in India. Our year begins when? The equinox, the journey of the sun from north to south and south to north. We measure our year by the equinox, the two equinoxes, the solstices we call them, the two solstices, the summer solstice and the winter solstice. That is, in India we call it Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. Uttarayana and Dakshina. We are now in Uttarayana Punyakala. Uttarayana Punyakala. In a short month, under 3 months down the line, the Varsha Ritu will start. Varsha Ritu is already started. Then slowly we will enter the Grishma Ritu and then we will enter Dakshinayana. That is when the sun moves to the south. When the sun moves to the south, we consider it to be a little inauspicious. Again, we wait till Makar Sankranti or Baisakhi, as you may be calling it in Punjab, or whatever. Each part of India, we call it by a different name, depending on which latitude we are. For some of us, it will come a little late. For some of us, it will come a little early. Generally, it is the month of April, when the Mesha month of Mesha, month of the Ram, Aries, okay? The first month, Chaitra, we call it. That is the month when we will celebrate the beginning. Of course, Uttarayana starts in Makar Sankranti day. The sun starts moving, okay? And we start our months like that. So very interesting. We don't follow the Gregorian calendar in India, but thanks to the British, we have forgotten our own ancient system of reckoning days based on the lunar or solar calendar. When sun enters the constellation, it's the month. So when the sun enters Aries, it is the first month. Okay, Chaitra, we call it Chaitra, and or Mesha Mas. But when the moon enters, okay, that is the lunar month. It will begin on Amavasya day and till Purnama. Then Purnama to the next Amavasya month. That is 1 month. So lunar month. This leads to a little bit of confusion, but whatever it is, we don't have to follow that year. We prefer to follow the good old English calendar year, which is 1st of January to 31st of December. Financial year is different. Financial year means the period ending on the 31st day of March every year. So it begins on the first day of April, which is April Fool's Day, and ends on the 31st day of March. We are now in the financial year 23-24. The earlier financial year was 22-23. It ended on 31st March 2023. Audits are being conducted for that year now. Okay. So this financial year is very, very important for companies because accounts are prepared for every financial year. Where a company is incorporated, there's one more year, which is called fiscal year, tax purposes, which begins again on 1st April and ends on 31st March. That the income earned during one year, which is called the previous year, is taxed in the assessment year, which means for the year ended on 31st March 23, for the previous year 22-23, we are now in the assessment year called 23-24. The return of income will be computed based on the Finance Act applicable to 23-24, the tax rates applicable to 23-24, and income tax will be paid and return will be filed in the assessment year. That is called assessment year and previous year. So many things are there. Don't worry. When I'm talking company law, it is financial year, meaning 1/4 to 31/3. Now there's a small point. Where a company is incorporated on or after the first day of January of a year, then financial year is the period ending on 31st day of March of the following year. So, even though I'm incorporated in January or February, a part year should end on the 31st March immediately following. No. My first financial year will be ending on the 31st of March of the following year. So, if a company was incorporated on February 2023, the first financial year will end on 31/3/2024. And the financial statements, later on you will be studying in management and administration that the accounts should be presented for the first year within 9 months and for thereafter within 6 months. For the first year, 9 months. So this first financial year will end on the 31st day of the following year. Thereafter, it will be normal. In case you are a subsidiary or holding company of a foreign company or associate of a company incorporated outside India, and for that purpose, you have to follow a different financial year for consolidation, then they may allow any period as financial year, even if that period is not a year, which means you might close 1 year. See, there will be 2 accounts, one for the purpose of Indian accounts, another for the purpose of your foreign consolidation, which would be even less than 1 year, you have to get it audited. But in India, you have to file a return, etc., based on 1/4 to 31/3, right? That is currently the financial year. Okay, Shivam Tiwari wants to know if I know astrology. Yes, I'm not a great astrologer, but yes, to some extent, yes. I can read only. I can read and I can understand and I can, by and large, but then there are many, many things. I need to spend more time. That's a science by itself. So I'm not going to claim. Broadly, yes. If I see it broadly, I can tell this. What that man cannot do, I will tell immediately. But what he can do in between, you have to go and tell. When he will do it, how he will do it, that takes a little more calculation and comparison. Abhiruchi Limited was incorporated on 11th December 2021. When should the company hold its AGM? My friends, when you come to management administration, I will teach you. See, usually this topic will come after management administration. Here, that is going to come later. So, there we will teach you that AGM should be held within 6 months from the date of closure of the financial year. Annual general meeting should be held within 6 months from the date of closure of the financial year. So, from 31st March, within 6 months, normally. First annual general meeting will be held within 9 months. First annual general meeting will be held within 9 months. Any other AGM should be held within 6 months. Okay. Abhiruchi was incorporated on 11th December, first year. Okay. When should the company hold its AGM? 11th December, na. So 31st March 22 will be the end. Then within 9 months, that is on or before 31st December 22, it can hold its AGM. But where a company is incorporated on or after the first day of January, see, will your answer be the same if you are informed that the company was incorporated on 11th February 2021. Okay, Desi Mahinas, Chaitra, Mesha. Okay, quickly, this question, if you give me an answer, I will close the section. See, if it is incorporated on 11th February 2021, will your answer be the same? Quick answers. Correct. Your answer will be the same. Your answer will not change, because if it is incorporated on 11th February 21, then the first financial year will be the period ending on 31st day of March of the following year. That is again 31st March 2022. So same answer only. There will be no change in the answer if you are informed that the company was incorporated. But suppose they are incorporated on the 2nd of January 22, gone. Then 31st March 23, 31st December 23. Otherwise, the answer will be the same. Fantastic. So we had a very good interaction, and I'm very happy thankful to all of you for your questions, your support, your answers, your exhibiting your knowledge. I'm so happy, and let's look forward to further discussions on this wonderful topic on Thursday, inshallah, when we will take up the same topic, accounts of companies. Till then, stay safe and have a great evening ahead. Bye.